Hi everybody, thanks for joining me. Today I'd like to share a project that I pulled together for the piecebypiece.etsy.com. But before I do that, I just wanted to quickly mention that Bev over at the Piece by Piece has a challenge going on. It's called the June Flower Challenge, and if you go to her blog, which I will put a link to in the description of this video. Go to her blog and all the details will be there. There's a great prize, there's 2 winners, and you have the entire month to complete the challenge. So go check that out if you want to have some fun making some flowers. So let me get into the tutorial. It's a pretty quick project and I hope you'll enjoy it. So if you go to Bev's shop, you'll see these really adorable burlap bags. They measure 4 by 6 in size, so they're a great size, I felt anyway, for a lavender sachet. So I've made a few of them. This is one of the more simple ones, and this basically just has this adorable crochet lace that Bev has available in her shop, and this is a mulberry flower that I just layered up. So that is a pretty simple one. This one has a little bit more going on. What I've done here is painted the background, painted the sentiment on, also layered up some mulberry flowers here, and I colored a skeleton leaf, which has been in my stash for a good 10 years, and this is the very first time I've used them. So I brought those out to play. Added a couple of stick pins, more mulberry flowers, and this lace that's also available at the Piece by Piece. You can make these as simple or as complex as you like. This one too is fairly simple. I added some robin's egg blue paint here. This flower is from Bev's shop. It's one of her fabric flowers. The button in the middle is a Tim Holtz button. There's a 7 Gypsies velvet leaf, and the trim is also from the Piece by Piece. So, and then this last one, which was actually the first one that I created, has a lot going on. There's some paint, purple paint in the background, beautiful purple lace from the Piece by Piece, and clusters of purple mulberry flowers, and a couple of custom-made stick pins that I threw in there. I'm actually going to do a tutorial on these separately. They were a lot of fun to make, and there's a lot that you can do with them. So those are the samples. This one is, I wanted to point out also, this one is a little bit different. There's maybe a little kind of a pillow cushion to it, and I'll show you how I did that as well. So those are the samples. Let me get on to showing you exactly what I did to make these. So when you get your bag, it's gonna look like this, and what I did was I just pull out the drawstring and then clean up these little kind of leftover pieces that are hanging off here. So I cut those off, and then this unsewn piece here where the drawstring was, what I did was just add a little bead of hot glue right there, and then stick those guys together, and it will then look like this. Okay, I then opened it up, and actually before I added the lavender, I painted it. So I put a little protective piece in here. I just use a plastic packaging, put that in all the way, and then did my painting. I actually did 2 layers of painting. You can do whatever suits your taste. After that, to do the sachet with the pillow top, I took a piece of embroidery floss and sewed in about a 1/2 inch from this edge, from this edge to about here, and did 3 sides with very large, I'll show you on the bottom here, you might be able to see, that's the stitching. And I had thought that I might leave that as a decorative edge, but then I decided that I wanted this lace, so I basically just glued that lace on top. So after I had the three sides stitched up, then I added, and the paint on, then I added lavender, and I put about a total of I would say about a half a cup inside, so that it has a thickness that looks at about like that without the pillow cushioning. And you can put as little or as much. You can fill it up more if you want more of a kind of a mountainous type shape to it, but mine, these ones here, lie pretty flat. So so then yeah, add the lavender, the amount that you want, close it back up, and then finish off the stitching and tie it off right here. That's if you want the pillow cushion. If you don't, you skip that stitching part and you're good to go to add the lavender. So once I've added the lavender and the stitching, if that's what you do, then add a line of glue, hot glue right here, and close it up, and then it's sealed. I have not had that lavender leak out of that hot glue seal yet, so it holds really well. And then one tip on the glue, the hot glue, I found that I just bought a new glue gun. It has 2 temperatures, so I can go high and a low, and the low is intended for fabrics, and that works really well on here. It doesn't, when you put it on the higher temperature, it tends to really kind of stream out. The low temperature has a firmer texture to it and comes out a little more slowly. You don't have as much time to work with it because it is not as hot, so it cools off a little bit better. And I did find also when I was laying down the edgings here, the various trims that I used, I put the glue down, gave it about maybe 3 to 5 seconds to harden up just a little bit, and then I put the trim down. That really helped to not have it come through the lace or kind of squish out of the trim that I was putting down. Also, the other good thing about the low temperature excuse me, the low temperature heat gun is that it doesn't burn your fingers. That's always a plus. So, okay, so once you've got the lavender in, it's all sealed up, then you just go to town with your decorating, and you can see here it's endless. This would be a fun project for kids, for a family member. Have kids write a sentiment on it as a teacher's gift. You can just go on and on. There's so many things and so many different scrapbooking supplies that you probably have in your stash already that you can use on these. So if you go over to my blog, I actually have a couple other samples that I made. Bev also has in the piecebypiece.etsy.com. In that shop, she also sells some muslin bags, and those are just adorable. They measure about 3 3/4 by 5 3/4, and they also make a great sachet. I used those for a sachet in a very different style, so if you want to take a look over at my blog, and I'll put a link in the description, there'll be some pictures. Excuse me. There will be some pictures of the muslin bags, and I also used some muslin fabric that I had on hand, and that is also yet a third style of lavender sachet that you can play with. So I hope you go over there, check out the various samples, also check out the piecebypiece.blogspot.com, and you'll have all of the challenge information that you need to play in the June Flower Challenge. So thanks so much for your time. I hope you'll try this project out and that you were inspired. And if you do, I would love to see a video response to this video, or if you want to go over to my blog and link to your blog with a picture, I'd love to see it and check out what you did. So thanks a lot. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.